Good morning, friends, family, strangers, and all those in between. Today we are sewing. I'm not much of a sewer. As with everything in my craft life, I am self-taught, and I'm self-taught to the point where I can make something. Is it good? No, probably not. But I promised my sister a year ago that I was gonna sew her son some clothes, my nephew. I haven't. Well, I did one. I can't find it anywhere. I knit him a beanie and I made him some pants. Can I find them? No. So we're going to start from scratch today and we're going to make some clothes. So our list of projects today are, I need to make some shorts for Rocco. I need to make a t-shirt for Rocco. I need to make cornhole bags. If we do anything else, perfect. If we don't, I just need to get those 3 things done, I think. When I get my sewing machine out, which then will take up this whole small table space, I'm going to cut out everything, I think, on this. So then everything is cut and then everything gets sewed, and then that way I've got like a plan and like things are done, and so I'm not bouncing around tasks. So let me get some fabrics. I'm actually making breakfast as well at the same time. This is already chaos. Here is the first shirt that I am copying. This was a shirt size as of a year ago, so I don't think this is gonna fit anymore, but it is a t-shirt shape of a kid, so I'm just gonna make this but bigger. And here are his shorts of a year ago, and I'm so angry that I've had these for so long, because these are so cute, and I wish like I hadn't had them so that he could have worn them. So I hope these still fit, but same concept, I'm just gonna make these wider. What I have found is that I did cut some fabric already to make shorts. It's a ratchet job and I don't know what goes to what, but I've got some fabric cut out. Maybe I should sew that first and then do the cutting for the rest. So then I've got one project done and I have a bit more confidence. Yeah, scratch what I said before. I'm gonna try and sew these pieces together to find out if I know what I'm doing. I do have this perfect blue thread, practically invisible, so I just have to wind that onto my sweet little bobbin. So yes, once again, this has all copyright music in the background. I don't know if I was really thinking about how I was going to produce this video while I was doing it, so I am just absolutely blasting pop music, old school R&B, anything and everything, and I can't even put it into YouTube without it copywriting me, so you're just gonna have to listen to me talk over this. I wish I was the type of person that can learn a skill properly and go to a class and like really ingest it and do it properly and slow and start with a dish towel, a pillowcase. For some reason that's not me, and I just go all in, balls to the wall, and I then regret it because I do really janky jobs. This is one of those times. Now, as you watch me do things, you'll notice the cutting isn't straight, nothing is ironed, I don't even really pin it properly, and then I just sew, and I hope for the best. And my life is wishes and dreams and all of the above. So I wouldn't take this video as a tutorial, I would take this as a what not to do. And maybe, just maybe in the future, I'll actually finally learn to do something properly and learn it properly. For now, it's just me mucking around. And that's why I kind of use these scrap fabrics I find, or old thrifted clothes that I upcycle, because I don't want to waste good money on whatever this is, essentially. But yeah, it's all a bit of fun, good to watch, good to realise. But yeah, this video has made me realise I want to spend more time doing things properly and not just rushing. Yabba-dibba-doo! These are huge. Let me get them in comparison. So like, I've definitely made those for like a 7-year-old boy, not a 2-year-old boy. So here's the first pair. Now he has grown since this, so they're huge in every way compared to these. But once I cuff them and hem them. Hopefully, those are huge. The cutting on this was very janky. I'd done a weird job, but it was good to sort of practice. So like these are probably quite unwearable. Oh, they're massive. I can't wait to see him rocking these. These are gonna be huge. Said before, my cutting wasn't very good, so trying to get straight lines when your cutting isn't good is hard, but I think I've done a half decent cuff. Oh, now I'm looking at it right way out. I don't know. The back, this side's good, I guess. That's quite straight. This side's doing something weird. Yeah, that side is puckered. It's a bit strange, but it's quite nice for what I usually do. Now, if you're watching this like, why does she have a craft channel? She doesn't know what she's doing half the time. You're right. I think that's the joy of crafting. I just want to show that you don't have to be perfect. And like, the actual process of learning is messy and it is gross, but it doesn't and shouldn't take away the joy of it. And I am quite the perfectionist myself, so I always am like, I want it to be perfect, blah blah blah, and I need to give that up. And this is a great skill in giving it up, because you've just got to go with what you know, and you've just got to do it and get better, and that's how you get better. So that's my inspirational talk of the day. I think I've cuffed that decently well, and now it's made it a more like decent length, I think. My second cuff was so much better than the first. Are they the same length? I hope so. So now I'm going to cut for the waistband. This obviously, as I've said many a time, too small. I'm gonna cut it to be bigger than this. And do I cut it? That's at its like natural state. It's a natural state. And I don't think I'll go much wider because I don't think he's growing that much. Zigzag stitch like I have on the bottom part. So zigzag stitch to sort of protect the edge, and then do a full fold over, put it in, sew it round. I think that's the idea. Me, a growing woman. Like, I obviously don't actually fit them, but look how they fit on my body for a 2-year-old boy. Yeah, I think these are going to be one of those things that he can't wear until he's at school. I think Kelly will be able to fit them. Kelly's my sister. They're kind of pajama panty. Pajama panty. I've done them. Here they are. So I've done a little bit of a janky job on the waistband, but I think passable. My hemming and my waistbanding, they have become smaller. My ones are pretty much the same length, just a bit longer and maybe a bit wider, and then wider at the top. That is my first janky pair. These are very light, so these are going to be cool for the summer. And he wears like a long top usually with his long pants. We can get away with how janky these are, and I quite like them. I think they need a little bit of an ironing and they'll be better, but I don't have an iron because I used it on my snowboard, so it has wax all over it. That's my first craft done for the day. This framing is bad, I'm sorry. So I made a t-shirt out of this camo print. I've got the scraps left. They are so scrappy that I don't think I could get like one square or whatever out of it, like a panel. I'm wondering if I cut it up into more patchwork and turn it into something, or if that's gonna look super janky, because I think it'll be fun if he had something matching me, but this is such literal scrap of fabric that I'm like, is this gonna look good or is it gonna look silly? The other option is I turn them into shorts. Same idea, cut them up and then follow the same pattern as that last pair, but make them shorts. Because maybe the patchwork will look fun as shorts. How is that wrapped around that? I don't know. Or is that silly and I should just work on something that I have enough fabric for? No, let's work this out. It's not going to be useful. And that can stay for now. And then this is a circle because I had stitched it together. Should get my seam ripper, but I'm not. So what I'm thinking is I use white thread and make it look intentionally like so that it doesn't look like I'm meant to not have sewn it together, if that makes sense. What am I saying? I want it to look like I Frankensteined it on purpose rather than it looking Frankensteined, but like trying to hide that it's Frankenstein. I'm also wondering if I quirk it up a lot and put a different green fabric in as well and really Frankenstein it, or if that will be too much for my sister's style. Because she has made Rocco quite stylish, and I think you can tell by now that I have a weird style. I dress weird. Thinking is I could, I've bloody done it on both sides. I can like attach that to that. We can make something work. I think we can make something work. It is a bit silly to be doing a Frankenstein when I am not even good at doing it with normal fabric, but I don't like waste, and I feel like by doing it this way, there's less waste. Because oh, that's so soft. Because if I do that and that, that's gonna make a panel quite nice. That's kind of a panel. Let's do some work. I'm back on the floor. I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of over the whole sewing thing for today, but I'm here, I'm doing it. Oh, I think it's my chairs are quite uncomfortable, so I'm just sat there kind of in pain, and I've made it worse by having to do all of these. About 3 panels roughly at the moment, and I've just sort of haberdasheried them together. That is not a describing word. The white is becoming, like the stitching of them together is becoming part of the appeal of them. From far away, you actually also, because it's a camo print, you probably can't really tell, and then up close you'll notice it's more of a stitch together look. Oh, it looks like skin. This is very Frankenstein right now, but that's kind of showing mushed together. Did I need to do this? Probably not. And it's gonna make me making these pants / shorts way harder. Trying to now get a pattern like the shape and then to re-sew it all. Oh, it's gonna be worse. But I've done what I've done and we're doing it. Good morning, it's a few days later. I've got a hair mask in. If you watch my last video, you'll know that I do a hair mask frequently in these videos. You should put one in too. Here are my shorts that I made. The shape is like an owl. It is odd. I did have it in a waistband, but when it's scrunched, it's even more defined that it's a weird right angle shape. Doesn't matter, probably not because they're janky pants anyway. I took the waistband out and now I'm annoyed because like, it doesn't change anything. The waistband wasn't the problem. It was the sewing down the middle that's the problem. I'm just gonna gently put the waist back. Weird shorts. I don't even know if he'll fit them, so I don't think it's a big deal. It is my time of the month today and I am in agony. Oh, it's a bad month. Haven't really done much today and I have so much to do. And what have I done? I've lazed around in pain. Like literally done nothing all day. Might make a coffee and then put the waistband into here. I've done them. Why are they shaped like that? Ooh, have you ever seen a kid shaped like that? I don't actually care anymore. I really don't. So I'm gonna fold these up and send them, and it'll be funny to see him wearing them, but oh, I even put my dog in them. Why? What have I done? Have I just done the same leg twice and that's why it's shaped like that? Whatever, that what's done is done. His funny shaped shorts are going his way. I'm gonna fold them up and never look at them again. So, that last clip I said I was gonna continue sewing. I've actually cleaned up my whole sewing supplies, vacuumed the lounge. I've got the kettle on for a coffee. I decided it wasn't sparking joy anymore, and so I'm just going to send the 2 pairs of pants that I've made, as well as the pants that I have to copy and the t-shirt I have to copy. And what I'm going to do in 2026 is I'm going to buy patterns for sewing. and I think that might help a lot of my problems, and it'll give me more confidence. I'm going to buy a pattern to make kids' pants, and then hopefully everything will be resolved. So here is how far I am in my knitting process of the Cognic sweater. I am obsessed. Speaking of patterns, I've never followed a pattern, like a complex purchase pattern before. My first sweater design I got from my friend, and she was lovely and gave it to me, but it's very basic. It's all done on flat needles. It's amazing. Great design. I've used it and copied it and changed it and made many things from that original pattern, but this is my first purchase pattern in the round, and I am really enjoying it. I've made a few errors, just in decreases and things like that. I don't really care. It is what it is. Now, the problem is I don't have enough yarn for this, I don't believe. So I'm at this point in the jumper. Now, when I block it, it will go lower. Have I discussed this with you? No, I think I've put this on TikTok. So when I block it, this should stretch out, but it's still a bit too cropped. So I would like a decent chunk more purple on this, to be honest. However, I have this little bit left, and then I have 2 balls of purple and 2 balls of green. I think I'll need a ball of each for their sleeves, I think. I'm going to leave this now. I've already got it onto some scrap yarn, so I'm going to just deal with that later, and I'm going to get started on the sleeves and just see how the sleeves are tracking and how much yarn I have after doing maybe one row, like one section of purple and one of green, how much of a ball I have left, and then that will give me a better idea of whether I want to finish the bottom of this with my existing yarn of the same dye lot and then finish the sleeves with a different dye lot, or if I think I can finish it all.